This is my introduction video for 5.3.2 from page 65 of Compute IT 1. Now for this task we need to write an algorithm to show how we can calculate A plus B minus C by inputting values for A, B and C into our program and having our program output the result. So let's write that out. So we've got A plus B minus C. Now this task asks us to substitute each of those values. So we're going to replace A with a 3. Imagine the user has input number 3 for the variable A, the user has input number 5 for the variable B, and the user has input 2 for the variable C. Okay, let's think about how this would work if we actually put it into a calculator. So I'll open up my calculator here. Okay, so let's think about each individual calculator press. So we press 3 plus 5, and then we would do equals because that's one operation. And then with the result we would do minus 2, and then we'd press equals again. Okay, and of course the output would be 6. Okay, so let's think about how each number would be input into a program. So the first thing the user would do is they're going to inp num1, which is of course variable A or number C. Okay, once they input that number, then the number needs to be stored. So we can, for storing, we can say star num1. Okay, and then of course since we've got 2 more numbers, they also need to be input by the user and stored. So we can just duplicate this part. And we can input num1 and star input num2 and star num2. So now we've input 3, stored it, we've input 5 and stored it, and we can just duplicate this again for num3, which is going to be minus 2. Now notice we haven't done any calculations yet. We're just taking the numbers, putting them into our system, storing them in the memory location. Now the next thing you're going to need to do, that's all I'm going to do in the intro video, but the next thing you're going to do of course is you're going to need to add the numbers and subtract. Now a few commands that will be useful for you in order to do that will be, you will need to load the first number into the accumulator. An accumulator is another word for calculator, so you'll need to remember LDA, and you can use LDA to load number 1 into the accumulator. Another couple of useful commands will be add. So once you've already loaded a number into the accumulator, you can't use LDA twice, you'll need to use add to add a number to that number. And finally of course sum. Okay, so those are some useful commands. One more command that may be valuable to know is when you've completed all your calculations, you'll also need to put your numbers in the memory data register, and you can do that by actually using num1dat, for example, and you'll need to put all 3 numbers in the memory data register at the end of your program. Okay, but I'll put a full tutorial explaining that if needed a little